it is a hot summer season of love. Hello, boogies. I watched all 10 episodes of Perfect Match in one single day. I had other work to do, I procrastinated, and now here we are. When I finished the final episode at 1:30 a.m., I was not proud of myself. But you know what? I just could not stop. Because Perfect Match, it's different from all this other reality TV show trash, in that it is the exact same. They bring all the contestants from all their other shows, all the wacky premises. It's like those shows are just curators for all, it's like a filter. All the best contestants now come onto this show, Perfect Match. And this show pairs all the contestants up Love Island style, where they all have to select each other. And if you don't have a partner, if no one selects you, then you need to leave, loser. Only the desirables are allowed to stay, you sick, gross bitch. Now, while this show is like other shows, it doesn't have a cash prize. The only prize is like you get an extended vacation, which is what the show is, basically. You spend like a month in Mexico for free. Before we get into the actual show, we need to talk about the host. Any guesses on who is hosting this Netflix dating show? That's right, it's
Nick Lachey.
Nick Lachey? Why? If you grew up in the 90s, you're familiar with 98 Degrees. And I'm not talking a temperature, I'm talking a 4-person band. Sorry, the word band kind of made it seem like they had musical talents, like they all played different instruments. No, it's just 4 guys in their mid-20s. Some of them look conspicuously like they're in their early 30s. But Nick was one of them. Nick was one of the members. Look at this. This guy. This is the guy who's hosting our love shows now. Fucking singing Matt Damon. Let's bypass Nick Lachey for now, and let's get to the cast. That's what we're here for. Who are these degenerates this year? Now, some of these people you may be familiar with, because like I mentioned, they are just filtered from other Netflix shows. And if you know more than half of the people who are about to be introduced, I'm going to leave resources for you in the description box. You're gonna want to talk to somebody, pick up a book, pick up something. Pick up a hobby. You've tried pickleball? Try something new. Among the first 10 to enter the house are Brighton and Dominique. She boldly says in front of everybody, like, hey, I want him. He is mine.
Anybody got eyes on anybody else already?
I like him.
I like that honesty. Wow.
And she gets him, like she wanted to. Unfortunately, they begin arguing immediately.
Do you see bodybuilders doing yoga?
I don't see bodybuilders doing anything but eating chicken and fucking rice.
And working out.
And oiling themselves
And
up.
working out.
While everyone else seems to find it really annoying that it's their first night, this is a night of joy, right? No one's been kicked out, there's been no competitions, everything's hunky-dory. I hate that I use that phrase. Ooh. Dominique doesn't think that way. She actually is turned on. It's a turn on for her.
I get a little bit turned on by the toxicity and the arguing.
Guess how the first episode ends? How do you think Dominique ends up at the end of the first episode? Any guess?
I literally feel like you're like speaking down to me.
Just speedrunning toxicity. And it gets worse. Like, the more you get to know both Brighton and Dominique, the worse they become. I should explain how the show works. So everybody has to be paired up. There are 5 couples. Every episode, there's some dumb competition where it's like, how to like push a cage or rate your kissing partner highly. It's just a bunch of stupid stuff, stupid competitions. But the winners of those competitions get to decide who to bring into the villa.
Here at the top of the board, you have 4 brand new single men.
And not only do they have to bring 2 people into the villa, but they also have to send those 2 new people on a date with someone who's in the villa. Everyone knows Dominique and Brighton are arguing, so they don't seem like a strong couple. So the first people who win the competition are thinking, well, let's send Dominique on a date. Maybe she'll find someone else, someone who argues with her less. And so they decide to set Dominique up with Chris.
I feel like you literally look like Flynn Rider from Tangled.
The fuck he does? He can be Flynn Walker. Like in an inferior version of Flynn Rider. There's only one Flynn Rider, all right? We recognize this. Trying to make me hate him right away. But I can't be too hard on him because Dominique like undresses him worse than I ever could. After their date, they head back to the villa, and now Chris has an opportunity to get to know everyone else, all the other contestants, and now hopefully Chris has a match by the end of the night. If Chris doesn't have a match, he has to leave. So he's putting all his eggs in the Dominique basket. And in the diary room, she also says, this.
Is it better to have the guy who drives you crazy, but is someone you actually like want to be around and are curious about, or to be bored out of your mind with someone else?
Bored out of my mind? That's Chris. She's talking about Chris there. Now, Brighton, on the other hand, he's a lot. Even the other guys in the house are fed up with him after like one day. They're already in the diary room like, this guy, he needs to freaking chill.
It's been 23 minutes since we've matched. Like, how are you already in y'all's first fight?
To be honest, I think it's a good chance. Brighton's going home.
He doesn't know how to shut his mouth.
He also talks with his hands way too much.
Last thing I'm gonna do is get disrespected. I had a conversation in there earlier.
disrespect you, bro.
I really wanna argue. I'm not even gonna lie.
I really want to argue with you. I'm not even gonna lie. What are you, composing at the orchestra? Put your hands down. And maybe he is a composer because he orchestrates his own demise. Realizing he's about to be kicked out, Flynn Walker approaches both Brighton and Dominique. They're having a chummy conversation. Apparently they've been talking for a while. And he rolls up like, hey, what's up? Who are you gonna choose, him or me?
I'm gonna put it on the spot. Come on, for both of our sakes, let me just put it on the spot.
Him or me, pick right now.
This is not supposed to be me in this situation right now.
I was in the middle of
you
saying
guys been
something.
talking for like a whole year.
She is not interested in him at all. And he wins. How?
I'd like to mash you.
This is not the last you will see of me in the house.
It was a smart plan by Chris to roll up on them because it just brings out Brighton's alpha side.
I'm gonna let you know, homeboy, we ain't talking no more.
Why you can't talk like a
we
man?
ain't talking no more, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm holding my temper.
She's already had issues with Brighton and his ego and his combative ways. And this is just like the nail in the coffin where it's like, okay, this relationship's not gonna work. You're arguing with me, now you're arguing with other guys. I just don't want the drama. So she chooses Chris.
I'm thinking down the road, right? Realistically, that's just not gonna work.
Now, while Brighton is too much, Izzy is too little. That sounds like a short joke. It's not, I swear.
I'm like noticing, I'm like the shortest one here. Everyone else is like 6'5".
Now, this isn't his scene. Not everyone's made for reality television, right? You have to have a bombastic personality. You gotta like drama. This is not his scene, so I'm gonna give him some grace. But my God, it is hard to watch him just take L after L this season. I can't think of a single moment. Granted, I binged it in a single day, so a lot of details fall between the cracks. But I don't think there's a single high moment for him this season. I can pick out like 4 really bad moments for him. One of which is just opening nights. He finds this girl attractive. Her name is Micah. Now, because these are all reality TV stars, they all somewhat know each other, right? They're all in the same sphere. And he just launches into hey, so I follow you on Instagram. I'm obsessed with you. This is so crazy I get to meet you. I'm fanboying right now. By the way, how's your dog Charles? I know you just got him 13 weeks ago from the animal shelter down on 7th Street. How is he now? I know he had that slight limp for that one day 6 weeks ago. You posted it on your Instagram story. Yeah, is he okay now? Is he okay?
Having fun?
Yes, it's crazy to see you here. This is crazy. You do have a dog, don't you?
I have a dog. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so awkward. I'm fanboying over here.
It's oh God, oh my God, dude. Good, relax, please relax.
No, apparently you already know all about me.
Please don't take me as a creep.
Micah obviously doesn't choose him because it's creepy. But after Micah chooses her partner, she's having issues. Izzy is sitting down with Micah, and then Kaz is there. He knows that Izzy is into Micah, and he is there to wingman for Izzy. And he's gesturing, being hey, he's a good option, right? And Izzy is being a little bit more bold. He's yeah, I think you should leave your partner. You deserve the best.
You and Steven, y'all vibe, but it's not for you.
Honestly, I feel like tonight I'm probably gonna switch something up.
As you should. We should have a chat.
And then Micah hears that and is huh. Okay, Kaz, I think you and I should have a conversation.
Should we go chat?
Right in front of him. Oh, it's brutal. And he just has to sit there and watch. Kaz only came over to help him. Kaz and Micah end up being together for a long time. In fact, they make it through the end of the show together. I don't know how to talk about them really because there's a lot of drama between them, but it's just never really, I don't know. It feels like little fights where there's always a level of tension between them, but at the same time, they're rock solid for the most part. All of it stems from Kaz getting a lot of romantic interest from the other girls, and he wants to keep exploring his other options while also making sure Micah stays by his side. A lot of guys do that this season. They say hey, no, I'm locked in with you. I'm all about you. And then they also want to continue to explore all of the other girls that come through and flirt with them. I can't really fault the guys too much just because that's the whole purpose of the show. The show punishes you for not having a secure match while also dangling and encouraging you to talk to other people and to explore your relationship with those other people. It's diabolical. If you tell your partner yeah, I'm gonna flirt around with other people and I might just leave you at any point, then they might also leave you at any point. And if that happens, you get kicked out of the house. It's really grimy, but you have to kind of play up your feelings and make it seem like you're more interested in your partner than you might be, really. And that's especially brutal for Tolu. She has a couple love interests through the season before finally settling on Chris, who I've talked about before. And it's pretty clear through body language and through his actions that Chris is trying to explore his options. I think he likes Tolu. Like, he doesn't mind being with her, but I think he's definitely seeking a better option, like the entire season. But then you cut to Tolu and she's like obsessed with him. She's like, yeah, he's my person. She's like crying, talking about how he is her person.
He really made me feel wanted and beautiful. Like, when you find someone that makes you feel like that, like, you've really found your person.
And meanwhile, like 2 days ago, he's trying to flirt with other girls to see if he can get a better match.
Well, I mean, the outside world, I'm not gonna lie, like, we probably would have just hooked up.
You think so, Chris?
Yeah.
There's also Steven and Alara, who you guys are just absolutely going to love. I am sure they're the fan favorites. Now, I haven't looked at other people's reactions to the show so far, but I can just imagine everyone being obsessed with him, although I didn't have the best first impression of Steven, because he says this.
I've been mistaken for Pete Davidson, mostly Machine Gun Kelly though, or like Water Gun Kelly, little squirt action.
Ah, right. And not only that, this man, he has an unabashed foot fetish.
I love sucking toes. I don't know.
Steven took my toe-sucking virginity.
That is a crime, sir. Do the world a favor and cover those dogs up with Bombas socks. Today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Bombas. Bombas makes the absolute most comfortable socks. Not only are they comfortable on your feet, they are comfortable on your soul. Because for every item you purchase from Bombas, they donate an item in return to people in need, to the tune of over 100 million items donated. Think about how many people that has helped. That's an insane number. And if you've never worn Bombas socks before, you might be a little bit worried about the quality. But I got good news for you. Hannah Montana situation, you get the best of both worlds. Not only does Bombas help out, they give to those in need, but the quality is impeccable. It's so good. You feel it. Like, as soon as you touch it, you feel it. These are so well and thoughtfully made. I was sponsored once before by Bombas. It was the Met Gala video. And actually in that comment section, there was somebody who had mentioned they had volunteered for like some like back to school drive. And Bombas had donated a bunch of items to those in need for that drive. And the person commenting also mentioned how like high quality it was as well. That's not coming from me. That's coming from someone in the community. You can head to bombas.com/oogabooga and use code oogabooga20 to get 20% off your first order. You get a discount. Bombas still donates. A Hannah Montana situation. And just think about it. If you buy 2 pairs of socks, there are 2 people out there who are in need who are going to be helped out. It's a nice thought, at least, you know? Thank you to Bombas for sponsoring this video. Pick some up. Otherwise, Steven's going to come to your room and lick your toes. So, do you want that? I don't think so. Head to bombas.com/oogabooga. All right, thanks, Bombas. I'm going to talk about Steven and Alara later, just because I want to help restore your faith after some more depravity. That depravity comes in the form of Harry Jowsy. The name might ring a bell for some of you degenerates. He was on the first season of Too Hot to Handle. That show became very popular, and it was in large part due to Harry, because he acted a fool on that show, but he's 6'5", handsome, cheeky, very lively personality. He's very easy to like. And I would say of all of the reality TV show people, I think he has broken into the mainstream the most. The one knock on Harry is he comes with a reputation of being a playboy. He will sleep with anyone that breathes, regardless of whether he or that person is in a relationship. He does not care. None of the women trust him. They all immediately recognize him, and they're like, oh boy, red flag, so many red flags.
Harry has a reputation for not being great with women. I just hope that all the women in this house watch out.
He has a well-earned reputation, and it's a reputation he takes pride in as well. He tells a story in his like opening interview of the perfect match. This is season 2. Harry is allegedly the reason that the winners of season 1 aren't together, because she slept with Harry. And then also he became friends with Harry. And he comes back for season 2 now that he's single because of Harry's actions. And they're like boys.
I guess people are a little bit confused as to why me and Dom are friends.
And Harry is proud of it. He's like, he tells it as like some fun anecdote.
I want to watch him fall in love and find someone who doesn't cheat on him with me.
He is the mayor of Red Flag City, okay? That's how I can put it. But because he's 6'5", and he's fun, and he's cheeky, and he's famous, he's still gonna get interest. And that interest comes from Elise, who we know. That's one of the people that we know. Because I covered her when I think she was Too Hot to Handle season 5. She was in a video I did. Now, after a few days together, Elise expresses to Harry, like, I'm a little bit concerned. I can't let my guard down fully just because of your history, which Harry takes poorly. He hates that. Absolutely hates it.
I have heard things from the outside, and so I still have my guard up.
That's really sad. If you're gonna be judgmental, then you're not a person that I would want to
I'm not being
spend any time
judgmental
with.
because I said you have to give me time.
Okay, I'm done. What do you want to do? Do you want to match up or not?
Yes.
We're gonna match up. Let's go. I'm done arguing.
A couple of women ask him this season about his past, And every time he has like a really intense reaction, he says it's like unfair of people to judge him by his past because that's not who he is anymore. He's past all that. He is now dating for marriage. He's not into that game anymore. And he gets really down on Elise because they've known each other now for 3 days. How could you not completely trust me after 3 days? That's like a lifetime, basically. Elise, he's said he's changed, despite the diary room suggesting otherwise with how he talks about his past.
The perfect match didn't win because she cheated on that guy with me.
And he's right. People should not be judged by their past. It's unfair. If a guy has murdered 3 of his exes and you're a little bit wary of him and he says, no, that's not who I am anymore. I don't murder my partners or exes anymore. I'm beyond that. I'm past that. Ladies, you should believe him. Why wouldn't he tell the truth? Just because it would benefit him greatly for you to lower your guard so that it's more easy to take advantage of you? Yeah, right. No way. I doubt that's what he's doing. Sensing that Harry is Harry, the next couple that wins the competition, they decide to send Harry on a date to test his relationship with Elise. Harry is chosen to go on a date with Jessica. Now, don't worry. Harry is matured. Before he leaves, he tells Elise, there's nothing to worry about. I'm gonna wear my worst outfit. I'm not gonna try for a new partner. I know how it's gonna look if I switch partners. It's bad. That's not who I am anymore. I don't want that to...
I'm absolutely creaming in my pants. She is absolutely stunning. They couldn't have picked more of my type if they tried.
That's right. Harry immediately likes his new date better and wants to ditch his old partner. But we should credit Harry a little bit because he does handle this in the most mature way. He gets back to the villa and immediately avoids Elise for the next few hours, never needing to have a conversation, never needing to discuss his betrayal, like an adult.
Do you not want to have a conversation, Harry?
Yeah, we're gonna take a drink. I'll talk to you.
He looks so dumb because Elise has to flag him down. She has to shout him, be like, hey, Harry, I'm still here. We're gonna talk about this? She grills him. And then he has this he gets really red and his mouth's hanging open. He looks like a child who's being scolded by his mom.
Would you like it if it was the other way around?
I would not like that.
Well then.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Visually, this visual right here hurts to look at. And this visual, I know how Harry feels. I can see it on this dumb expression. He doesn't like hurting people. I genuinely believe he greatly dislikes hurting people. However, as much as he dislikes hurting people, that doesn't weigh on his scale between how much pleasure I can get versus how much pain I inflict on other people. If he can get a little bit of pleasure, he's willing to hurt a lot of people. You know what I mean? Now that I say it out loud, it's pretty sad. The same thing happened in Too Hot to Handle. He kept losing everybody money, which really upset everybody in the group. We do see some growth from Harry though, because he does settle in with Jessica. He is with her for, since they get together that night after he leaves Elise, and he is with her through his entire time there. She is his perfect type. She has a 10-year-old daughter, so she's looking for a mature relationship herself, so she's not putting up with any bull crap. So Harry really has to get his stuff together. Near the end of the season, they're dropping L-bombs. He's talking about marrying her. She's picturing this life with him.
Because I'm falling in love with you.
My heart's like, oh my God, this is your man, this is your husband.
Can I get married?
What? You're the athlete properly.
That's a nice, happy ending for the couple. Until one night. The show got really lucky that it has a sloppy cast because they set up this really dumb... I don't even want to talk about it. It's so stupid. You know how in some shows they have a Casa Amor or a second house where they send the couples to? That's my favorite thing. Because the idea of the show is when you spend every hour of every day together with somebody and you even sleep in the same bed, you're gonna bond really quickly. But what do you do with those quick bonds if you have to spend several days or maybe a week apart from them? And then knowing that person is also going to be in a house filled with other hot new people. And then you're also surrounded by hot new people. Not only will you be tempted, but you'll also be anxious and nervous that your partner might choose somebody else. And if they do choose somebody else and you don't choose somebody else, then you have to leave. So maybe I should choose somebody. The paranoia, the anxiety, it's through the roof. Perfect Match, they try that somewhat. I can't imagine them doing it any more poorly than they did it in this season. So they separate the guys and the girls of the house, and then the hot new singles that are meant to tempt the guys and the girls, they're all the rejects. They're all the people that have been kicked out of the house already. And no one in the house wanted them, so that's why they had to leave. And now they're bringing them back to tempt the people of the house. How would they? How would they? I say how would they, but they do. Many of the guys are get in trouble. Kaz, to a certain degree.
Are you happy with who you're with? Because it sounds to me like you're married, but I don't see your ring.
One of the girls starts pressing him hardcore, being like, hey, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me. You wanna kiss me? You should kiss me, kiss me. Are you gonna kiss me? And Kaz is like, no, I have a partner. But he's tempted, so he doesn't like shut it down completely. And then there's Chris, who is trying to make a move on somebody else because he wants to upgrade his partner. But like, all the girls are also friends.
I got lots of tea for my girlies back at the house, and I cannot wait to report it all.
But of all the guys, who do you think messes up the worst? Did you guess Harry? Guys, he's mature. He would never make that mistake.
He went and kissed Melinda?
Just Harry? That can't be true. You're a changed man, Harry. You've been telling everybody all season. Don't look at my past. I'm not that man anymore.
Will you kiss me on my lips, Harry?
Why are you making shit up?
Melinda, we gotta talk about her because she, this season, is a huge no bueno. Harry's talking about how he found his person. He found the one he wants to be with. He loves her. He wants to marry her. And then now there's rumors of a kiss. We don't see it. There's no cameras around. They went to a place where there's no cameras. Suspicious. But the more time goes on, the more, certain he is that he didn't kiss her. He calls it a deep fake at one point. He's like, no, it's a deep fake. It's lies, deception. Melinda just wants clout.
If I did not kiss her, that was a deep fake. People are always gonna make up stuff about you to try and ruin what you have.
Harry's freaking out because he knows this is gonna get back to his partner, Jess, and he cares about her. Again, we talked about the scales. Kind of seems like Harry did it. We don't have proof yet. Yeah, that's a point yet. But there's no proof, so Harry's like, oh God, what do I do? Harry's sulking in the bed alone, and she's like, oh God, what did you do? And he's like, I feel so bad. I carried her around in my arms, and that's it. Now, I don't know what to say about Jess. Frankly, I respect Jess a lot. She is a no-nonsense person. Like, she's not gonna make an emotional decision. She's gonna be very smart about things, which is odd to say about somebody who would date Harry Jowsy, but... Now, the next day, everyone gets together, and all the girls sit at a table, and Melinda, she says, Harry and I, we kissed. And Jessica is pissed. And she's not just pissed at Harry. Right now, she's pissed at Melinda.
But it's looking like you want to embarrass me.
Because Melinda is wielding this like it's just some fun gossip. But she's a homewrecker. And Jess says this, and she's absolutely right.
I do appreciate you telling me because his recollection was different. I just wish that you would have told me in a more private manner. But there was just no sense in trying to deliver it, like making a public service announcement.
Melinda, this is a shameful thing. This is not like a fun hee I kissed your boyfriend. Don't be proud of this. In the end, Harry sticks to his story of like, no, deep fake, lies. She just wants fame from me.
Did it? Who saw it? Like, what are you talking about? No one saw it. You're making it up. You wanted your 15 minutes.
Jess is swayed because a lot of the guys stand up for Harry.
When you're with someone like Harry, it makes you somewhat of an easy target.
Most of the guys didn't even see what happened. And then they're trying to like excuse his behavior, but they don't know what Harry did or didn't do. And knowing Harry's reputation, it kind of seems likely that he did it. Especially the way Harry was acting after the kiss the first day, or the alleged kiss. Either way, there's too much at stake. It's too likely that he did something wrong. So she breaks up with Harry, and then they both leave the villa. In the finale, they save this till the very last episode, but there is a little bit more unrevealed footage that they didn't show in the episode, and we're gonna cover it. But the best relationship of the season, we must talk about Steven and Alara. It's really sweet because at first, he is really attracted to her. She is more attracted to Dom.
You know, you and me, it's like immediately when we started talking, it was just easy.
And Dom likes her too, but Dom is a very friendly person. He has a partner currently. He doesn't want to hurt their feelings, which gives Steven so much time. And since Dom is not committal, she says yes to him.
I want you to be my match. I just really wanted to do this.
At this point, I was thinking like, well, Dom still has a chance because he's going to remain in the house and they were both attracted to each other the most.
It was in my control tonight. I would have picked you. I'm sorry. I would.
So, you know, he'll have an opportunity to win her over. But over the next couple days, Steven starts treating Alara like a princess. He's cooking her breakfast. He's like bringing her all sorts of stuff. And when they lose a competition and they don't get to go on a date as a prize, he then cooks for her and makes their own little makeshift date. It's the cutest thing.
I was about to say your wife material. What do they call husband material?
They are, like, the show title. They are the perfect match. Except they don't win. Which I thought was odd. It was again, winning doesn't really mean a whole lot. I think it's kind of dumb. The winner is these two, Christine and Nigel. That's their names. I haven't talked about that much just because they got to the house with like 3 days left of the whole show. They're like the very last people that come into the house. And they have like one nice date, and then they're the perfect match. They don't even know each other's last names. How are they a perfect match? The other contestants vote. And I'm thinking like maybe the reason that they voted for Tristan and Katara, what are their names? Nigel and Christine. Maybe they wanted to give them more time, so like an extended vacation so that they could get to know each other even better. Like Alara and Steven are locked in, right? So because Nigel and Christine got to the house so late, maybe give them a little bit extra time. I thought maybe that was probably the thinking behind the scenes. The behind the scenes footage, I was gonna talk about the hairy kiss, but before we do that, I wanna give out the douche of the season awards. It was originally gonna be this guy, who I don't know his name. I didn't bother to learn it because he's there for literally one episode.
Trust me, like my DMs are full. I don't have any problem getting women. It's just that you gotta check every single one of my boxes.
Anyone who says I can get any girl I want and then doesn't get anyone is a loser. Sorry.
I got plenty of other options waiting for me. I'm like, I've talked to a few people out of my DMs, so hit me up.
Everyone wants me. I can get anyone I want. Wait, no one wants me? I gotta leave now? Oh, well, that's not a big deal because like my DMs are super flooded. Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, I got a message from like Instagram developers. They said that I actually have to go through and delete a bunch of messages just because there's so many DMs that I have that it's actually overloading their servers. So, yeah, I gotta go through and just delete all these hot girls that are in my DMs. But he is only the runner-up douche because the real douche of the season is Melinda. Good job, Melinda. She also does the same thing that guy does. The I can get anyone I want routine and then not getting anyone. She's worse because she thought she had a secure backup option in Chris, who she went on a date with. So she went around trying to find someone better than him. And then Chris was like, oh, I don't like that. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel disingenuous, like you're just trying to get in the house. So he goes back to his partner, Tolu. And then when Melinda finds out, she's pissed and she like insults his height, Mr. 5 foot, whatever.
I feel so blindsided that I let this 5 foot nothing boy tell me one thing and then do another.
It's just big loser energy to get rejected and then start insulting. It's just huge loser energy. Don't do that. She also this season started drama by kissing Harry when knowing he's committed.
And just kiss me. And then kiss them back.
I think the problem with Melinda this year is she entered the season thinking she was the main character. Like she had very main character energy. Like she walked and talked like she was gonna be the star of the season. And it just comes across so, like gross.
Cause Melinda is about to come in and find her perfect match. Might be your man.
Like you can have that energy if you are the star. But if you're not, then you look egotistical. I think that's the reason she started the drama with Harry, because he's like the biggest celebrity on the show. So even knowing he was in a relationship, she like kissed him, tried to make a move on him, and then spread the lies. That's why she wielded the rumor like it was a knife. And I think even worse, on finale night, she talks like she is a 14-year-old on Twitter.
I get whatever I want.
Period. Speak your truth. Like, it's giving chocolate on chocolate, and I'm so here for this.
Hey. There's nothing more cringe to me than people who overuse online lingo in the real world.
Period. Speak your truth.
All right, Harry, did he do it? Did he kiss Melinda? Turns out the cameras didn't catch it, but they are constantly wearing microphones. Think, Harry, they have audio of him saying he wants to do stuff to Melinda.
Treacherous kiss, I wanted to just dog your face out.
Oh yeah, I want to fuck you. I'm trying to get Melinda pregnant. It'd be crazy, but if it's not tall and athletic, we're gonna have a problem.
Wants to put a baby in there. Which is just, what a crazy thing. To like literally like the day before, be like, hey, I'm in love with this person. I'm in love with this woman. How can you be in love with somebody and then you're like away from that person for an hour and you're already like trying to put a baby in someone else? That's not love, dog.
Did you guys get footage of me and Melinda kissing or not? I didn't mean to do it.
It's obvious you did it. All you have to say is, I did not do it. I swear on it. That's all you would have to say.
We kissed. He could say we didn't, but we did.
We didn't. Who saw it? No one saw it.
In an after credits scene, we cut to Harry's Lamborghini, and they're recording a video together. So it seems they have gotten back together, which, I mean, hey, to each their own. Clearly they worked it out.
We're still going strong.
We're still going We're doing really well.
Maybe I'm thinking too much. Maybe Harry was just making decisions for the sake of entertainment. Is that possible? Maybe. I'm glad to see it worked out for them after the camera stopped rolling.
I wonder when this is gonna come out. We're gonna be strong by then. We'll probably be married.
Huh. Now, if you're at all like me, you would like to know who is still together. This show was filmed actually a year ago, so they've had time for these relationships to continue to blossom, to flourish. Let's start with the sweetheart couple of the season. That is Steven and Alara. They are not together. Unfortunate. It seemed like they were gonna be like the perfect match because it felt like they embodied what the show was about. Finding somebody who you're willing to go the extra mile for. It's a little sad that they're not together. Kaz and Micah, they are not together. How about the winners though? Nigel and Christine. They got to go on a little bonus vacation. We got to see some of their travels. They are not together. Actually, let me just save you a little bit of time. Nobody is together. Everyone broke up, so. After the 1,000 I love yous that I heard this season, talks of marriage, talks of meeting family, all of it. After all of it, not a single couple remains. And I think the worst part about it, and maybe it's part of the cast, but a lot of them are not talking positively about their partners. So a lot of chaos and a lot of toxicity. 10 hours, I spent a whole day. I did not stop. And in the end, no one's together. So, joke is on me, sadly. You think like maybe at the end of it, like you can rationalize it by being like, okay, well at least I saw the birth of a great couple. Nope. Nah, none of that. Zero of it. And in fact, I think most of the people are worse off than they were before because they're probably more emotionally scarred by the relationships that they were in. Either way, I know one thing. I for sure as hell am going to be back for the next good reality TV show. So I'll see you guys for the next one. See ya. Goodbye.